Today's scary story is called The Passenger Who Never Left. It was a normal day at the airport. The only thing out of the ordinary was an old man who kept checking his watch. He was so focused on it that he didn't notice me staring at him. I was curious because his watch looked like something from World War II. It was made of some sort of metal and had these weird markings on it. Was it a real antique? Then he did something even weirder. After buying a ticket for Flight 476 to Atlanta, he refused to board the plane when it was time. He said he wanted to wait for the next flight. The airline employee tried to explain that there wasn't going to be another flight that day, but he just kept insisting. I thought it was strange, but I was more curious about the old man than scared. I asked myself, what could he possibly be waiting for? What was so important about the next flight? And why did he seem so desperate? When the next day came around, I was surprised to see him waiting at the airport again. This time he was waiting for Flight 108 to Dallas. It was weird how he knew the flight numbers, but I assumed he must have some sort of system. Maybe he wrote them down or something. But when he tried to board the plane, the airline employee stopped him. She told him in no uncertain terms that he couldn't do that. I don't know exactly what she said, but I could tell by his face that it wasn't good. He was upset and confused. Then he started mumbling to himself. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but it sounded like he was talking about someone named John. He left the airport after that, and I lost sight of him. But the next morning, I saw him again. This time, he was waiting for Flight 354 to Denver. When he was denied boarding, he started yelling at the employees. He kept repeating that he had to get on this flight and that John was waiting for him. His behavior was so weird that the police were called and they took him away in a car. I was disappointed because I was hoping to see him again. I wanted to know more about him. Why was he so obsessed with getting on one of those flights? I didn't think much of it until 2 weeks later, when I boarded a flight to Denver. As we were about to take off, I noticed a man in the seat across from me. He looked familiar somehow, but I couldn't place it. So, I started reading the magazine in front of me. A few minutes into the flight, I heard a loud crash, and the man screamed. I turned to look at him, and my blood ran cold. It was the old man. He had taken off his seat belt and was crawling on his hands and knees toward the back of the plane. Before I could react, he was on top of me. He had a wild look in his eyes and a crazed smile on his face. I could feel his hot breath on my neck as he whispered, "It's too late now. You should have stayed in your seat." In a panic, I pushed him off me and he fell to the ground. I don't know what kind of substance it was, but he was covered in it. It looked like dirt, but it was moving. I screamed for help as the old man slowly stood up. One of the flight attendants came running over and saw the old man covered in what looked like dirt. She screamed, too, and backed away slowly. As the plane began to descend, the old man got up and walked toward the flight attendant. She stepped back in fear, but he just kept coming closer and closer. When the doors opened, the old man stumbled out onto the tarmac. People stared at him in shock as he walked past them without a word. I was shaken but unharmed. I couldn't stop thinking about how close I had come to being with that man. Later that day, I saw a news report about the incident. According to the police, the old man had taken his own life on the plane. They didn't know why, but they believed it had something to do with a woman he had been obsessed with for years. Her name was John. As I watched the news report, it hit me. That was the same name the old man had been mumbling before he took his own life. If only he had gotten on that flight to Dallas, he would still be alive today. Or maybe he wouldn't, because according to the news report, the woman he loved, the woman whose name was John, was on that flight. And now you know the story of the passenger who never left. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this scary story, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Also, share this story with your friends and family if you think they'll like it. Thanks for watching.